Zo, eens even kijken. Ja. Hallo, goedenavond allemaal. Welkom op een nieuwe stream op deze zondagavond. Vandaag reageer ik dus op het het wereldkampioenschap rally van 1999. Amai, dat was even moeilijk, maar het is toch gelukt. Dus dat gaan we doen, dus we gaan er zo meteen aan beginnen. Hello everyone, welcome to a new stream on Sunday. Today I will react to the World Rally Championship of 1999. So yeah, let's get started. Voilà, oké. Dat gaat ook. Yep, ja, alles oké. Zo. En dan, hopla. Voilà, ça. Ook wel interessant, ja.
Last year, Carlos Sainz and Tommy Mäkinen were locked in a battle for the driver's title until the last few hundred meters of the final round in Great Britain.
Dat was ook wel het eerste beeld van 1998, ja. Ja, one of the saddest images of 1998 season, hè. That was heavy. Ja, look at that, ja.
Sainz's misfortune handed the title to Mäkinen for the third year in succession.
Suddenly my brother phoned from the end of the last stage and he said, hey, could you believe Carlos' car is got the fire and he's standing here, he can't, he's just 300 meters before the end. And I said, no, don't be joking, it's a bit too serious. Yes, it's true. And I couldn't believe.
Tommy Mäkinen took 5 victories to win the title.
Ja, 2 punten verschil.
2 points adrift.
Ja.
Colin McRae won 3 rounds to finish third. Juha Kankkunen was fourth, with Didier Auriol and Richard Burns completing the top 6.
Met maar 2 punten verschil, hè. Niet normaal.
1999 as the reigning manufacturers champions. They retained the services of Tommy Mäkinen.
Voilà, ik word lak hier de grond, hè. Oh.
Freddie Loix and co-driver Sven Smeets joined the team for a full assault on the series after showing promise in selected rounds in '98.
Ja, Freddie Loix, landgenoot. Go.
As last year, with Carlos Sainz, Luis Moya, Didier Auriol and Dennis Jurade providing a strong lineup. Juha Kankkunen had signed up with Subaru and was joined in the team by Richard Burns. The Englishman replaced Colin McRae, who moved to Ford for the Focus's maiden season.
Ja, voor veel geld. A lot of money, he went to Ford.
Skoda joined the WRC teams this year with Armin Schwartz leading their challenge, while Seat in their first full season fielded Harry Rovanperä and Piero Liatti.
Piero Liatti, ja. Asfaltspecialist, hè, onze Piero. Tarmac specialist, Piero. Rally Automobiel Monte Carlo.
In January, Monte Carlo provided the venue for the first round of the 1999 FIA World Rally Championship. As the oldest event of its kind, the Monte Carlo Rally carries much prestige, in addition to presenting the teams and challenges unique to the Principality.
Veel geschiedenis Monte Carlo. Oh.
Monte Carlo rally is the one that everybody wants to win. Everybody would like to win this rally, but you can get so many different weather conditions and road conditions, ice, snow, dry tarmac.
On this rally, more than any other, tyre choice is critical, and Michelin and Pirelli came prepared, providing many different types of tyre to meet the varied surfaces. When a stage starts in one valley, heads over the mountain, and then ends in another, conditions can change several times, all in just a few miles.
To get every tyre choice absolutely correct, it's very, very difficult indeed. Very difficult rally to win.
Ford debuted their new Focus World Rally car in Monte Carlo, with freshly signed Colin McRae leading the Blue Oval's charge. But the team would start under appeal after a technical infringement was found with the car's water pump. The event was also the first for Skoda at World Rally level, but due to engine software problems, the team would not even take the start.
Ja, oké.
For Carlos was last year on the last stage. For me, is even before the ramp this year.
Ja, damn.
One consisted of 5
Niet goed,
stages, the first over 48 kilometers long. Tommy Mäkinen was the fastest driver over that icy stage to end the day second overall. Carlos Sainz's season didn't start so well.
Ja, too bad. Spijtig genoeg niet, nee. Want dat weet ik nog, ja. Hier gaat hem. 3, 2, 1. Hopla. Ah.
That was the first of 2 accidents for the Spaniard, the second ending his rally.
Ai. Ja, daar gaat hem.
The bonnet of the car I couldn't see at all, and in another place with ice I went definitely off.
Colin McRae won the final 2 stages to end the leg in 6th.
Ja, daar is Karl. Oh, easy Colin. Rustig aan. Goed zo.
4-time world champion Juha Kankkunen demonstrated his vast experience, placing his Subaru Impreza 3rd overall. The Finn drove consistently to negotiate the treacherous conditions of the early stages, a feat Didier Auriol couldn't quite match.
Ja, je hebt veel ervaring in deze rally, ja. Juha Kankkunen. Ja, icy. Vergla, icy. And the same place as Carlos. Zelfde pas als Carlos. Tju, merde. Ja.
When he tell me ice braking, I say it's too late and just go off. But that can happen.
Ja, het happens. Het gebeurt, spijtig genoeg, maar ja.
Pace notes.
Oh. Oké, al bij al, dat gaat nog. Maar ja, oké, hopelijk geen schade.
That incident dropped Burns to 10th. Piero Liati had a much better day. Winner of this event in '97, the Italian set the 3rd fastest time on the opening stage to lie 4th overnight. Freddie Loix had a terrible start to the championship. The Belgian was caught out on an icy corner, damaging his radiator, and would take no further part in the event.
Ja, ik zie het. Oei. Ja, that's over. Dat is voorbij. Radiator, weet je.
Gilles Panizzi driving a
Yeah, it's slippery.
Subaru
Ai.
was the sensation
Hey
of the
Kiwi,
day.
what's up?
Quickest over the 3rd stage, he had a 6-second lead over Mäkinen by the end of stage 5.
Ja,
The
Panizzi,
second
ja.
leg of the rally took the drivers from Gap to Monaco, over 155 kilometres of special stages. A cold and early morning awaited Gilles Panizzi, running first on the road. The Frenchman got off to a good start, posting the fastest time over the 6th stage. However, an incorrect tyre choice later in the day, coupled with a stall, cost the Subaru driver time and dropped him to 2nd behind Tommy Mäkinen. The Mitsubishi driver won 2 of the day's stages, finishing the leg with a comfortable cushion of 1 minute 45 seconds. 4 stages left to run.
Tommy Mäkinen, die is er goed in, hè, Monte Carlo wel. Die is er goed in. Ja, Tommy Mäkinen is...
Juha Kankkunen and co-driver Juha Repo maintained their consistency, quickest over the 8th stage to retain 3rd place on the leaderboard for the final leg. Liati couldn't sustain his pace though, losing his brakes with 2 stages to go, dropping back to 9th.
Ai. Nee, dat is...
Bruno
Niet
Thierry
goed.
started the day in 5th, but failed to get to grips with the 99 Impreza and fell to 6th place. Colin McRae won the last stage of the day, lifting him to 4th. While Francois Delacour, winner of the event in '94, lay only 26 seconds behind the works outfit in last year's Escort. Didier Auriol made up some of the time he lost the previous day, moving up 1 place to 7th. The third and final leg consisted of 109 kilometers
Look
of
at the
special
lead,
stages,
geen leiding wat
the
hij heeft,
first of
Tommy
which would
Mäkinen.
prove decisive. Tommy Mäkinen would struggle on that opening stage, losing time in the treacherous conditions.
Ja, hier gaat hem, hier gaat hem. Wow! Oeh! Oh, watch out voor de car. Pas op met de wagen. Hopla. Geluk gehad. Je hebt toch geluk gehad. Oei, oei, ja. Kieuwe.
That incident could have proved very
Very
costly,
slippery.
except that his rival Gilles Panizzi was to suffer worse. The privateer slid wide and rolled after hitting a patch of black ice, putting an end to the Frenchman's rally.
Ja, dat is jammer.
Was the beneficiary.
Too bad for Gilles.
Long medium left.
Nou ja, now we can see it. They are okay, but...
as well as on the road, moved the Finn into
Ja,
second
ze zijn
place.
oké, maar de wagen niet.
70.
Ja.
Flat right 100. Medium right tightens.
Ja, jammer.
Okay right and long medium left.
A good tyre choice helped Colin McRae post the quickest time on the day's second stage, placing the Focus a very credible third on its debut. But if he is disqualified when the appeal is heard, the highest place forward would be a privateer.
Ja, dat is waar ook. Dus ze wordt...
Francois
ja.
Delacour ran as high as third on the final day, posting the second quickest time on stage 14, meant he entered the final section in a three-way battle for fourth place. Bruno Thierry
Oh,
was good for
yeah.
that place after setting the second fastest time on the opening stage, but a puncture dropped him to sixth.
Ai.
The Subaru driver's misfortune was to benefit Didier Auriol. The Toyota driver was quickest over the final section to secure fourth. Pierre Liatti drove the Seat to seventh overall. Mäkinen was rarely among the quickest drivers on the final day. The Finn could afford to ease off, with Panizzi out, and still take victory by over a minute and a half.
100 ja pitkä vasen plus. Ja se on saatana siinä. Jep.
Long 3 days in extremely difficult condition, and I mean, I have to be more than happy.
This was Mäkinen's and Mitsubishi's first win in the Principality, and also the rugby-based outfit's fifth consecutive victory. A great start to the reigning champions' title defence.
Ah, hij heeft gewonnen, hè. Dat is geen verrassing, hè.
Confirmation of the results, Mäkinen domination.
Weer een goed begin voor hem, hè.
For the Ford Focus,
Good start voor
but
Tommy
McRae's
Mäkinen.
result was only provisional.
Ja.
Auriol took the points for third after Ford lost their appeal and McRae was excluded. Liatti
Yeah.
took the final point.
Ja, too bad for Colin, but yeah. Ai.
The second round of the championship took the teams to Sweden, a unique winter challenge where temperatures can drop to -30.
Oeh, dat is cold. Dat is koud. Min 30. Wow. Min 30. Maar jongens. Not for me. Niet voor mij. Min 30. Nee, dank u. Blijf binnen. Met de radiator op 20 graden of meer. 25 graden. Min 20 of wat was het? Maar nee, dank u. No way. That's too cold. I don't like that.
After working hard between events, Ford came to Scandinavia with a revised water pump.
Ja.
What
Die
we
waterpomp.
have to do is to move the position of the water pump and install the standard pump that is obviously standard with a normal road-going Focus.
Leg 1 consisted of 8 stages, starting from Karlstad and heading north. Less snow than usual meant that speeds were very high, with records set on nearly every stage. Tommy Mäkinen had won this event twice and drove well over the first leg, setting fastest times on 3 of the day's stages in a fiercely fought battle with Carlos Sainz. The Finn held a 2-second advantage.
Hij is ook goed in deze rally, ja. Tommy Mäkinen. Ja, dat is waar ook, hij is er goed in. Dus hier kan hij ook winnen, hè. Even mijn gsm op stil zetten. Or to put my cell phone on silent, because or else we will be disturbed again. Ja, voilà. Altijd dat.
Juha Kankkunen did have problems with his tyres. The Finn who won this event in 1986 tried all the combinations of compound pattern and stud variation, but failed to convert the car's power to the road.
Wow. Yeah.
We've had a bit of a frustrating
Die worden niet meer
time
gestoord,
with
hè?
the we just can't get any grip at the moment, and not a lot we can do about it at present. We're waiting for maybe the weather changes, something has to fall into our lap.
Nou ja, banden zijn niet zo goed.
Without taking risks. Third fastest on 5 stages to end the day fourth.
Nou, Didier gaat er voor in zesde verstaan. Kijk dat, joh. 6th gear, he's going for it, Didier. Mai. Oh crap, maybe too much. Oh, no, okay.
The lack of snow and freezing temperatures meant that the roads were very icy. But this didn't hinder Oriol's teammate Carlos Sainz, who was sensational on the opening day. The Spaniard boosted his chances of becoming the first non-Scandinavian to win in Sweden when he was fastest over 4 stages.
Yeah.
It could have been 5, but he let Mäkinen into the lead, hoping that overnight snow would give him a better starting position for leg 2. McRae's rally started badly. The Scot dropped almost a minute on stage 6 after damaging a wheel, but thereafter made a fine recovery, setting the second fastest time on the final stage to end the day in 5th.
No.
Marcus Grönholm, guesting for Seat, had problems of his own. Engine failure ended the Finns' rally on stage 2. With teammate Harry Rovanperä dropping to 89th because of similar problems, it was a disappointing day for the Spanish outfit.
Ja, dat is niet goed. Seat, ai.
Sweden's Thomas Rodström showed the sort of flair in the Focus that McRae had done in Monaco. Fastest over stage 5, he was the only driver to break the Mäkinen-Sainz domination of the first day. Leg 2 took drivers from Karlstad to Borlänge over 6 stages and 142 kilometers.
Nou, Tommy Mäkinen is weer als eerste, hè?
Meant that Mäkinen and co-driver Manisamaki were not disadvantaged, starting first on the road. The Finns dominated the second leg, winning 5 stages to increase their lead on Carlos Sainz to more than 30 seconds.
Ja, mooie jump alweer.
The Spaniard's gamble hadn't paid off, and his problems were compounded further when he overshot a junction on stage 10. He conceded that his only chance to beat Mäkinen would be if the leader were to make a mistake.
Ja, nou wel. Maar ja, dat gaat niet gebeuren, denk ik.
Thomas Rodström continued to lead the forward assault. He could never quite match the pace of Mäkinen and Sainz, but nevertheless did enough to lie third overnight, just 18 seconds behind Sainz and 14 ahead of Didier Auriol.
Nou, dat is nog niet zo slecht,
The
hè?
Frenchman set the second quickest time over Jutbo, the rally's longest section, making it possible for him to challenge for a podium spot in the final leg. Lying nearly 2 minutes behind the leaders at the beginning of the second day meant that Colin McRae had to push.
Yep,
but the Scotsman's rally was cut short when his engine started to lose water on the opening stage.
76
Ja, daar heb je het. Look at that. Ai.
Opens. What should we do? We're going to stop it.
Stop, see. It's dumped all its water out. It could be related to the water pump. But as I say, until we get back, we're not sure.
Ja.
McRae's retirement left Richard Burns as the highest placed Brit. Unable to catch the drivers in front, Burns and Kankkunen battled with each other, with the Englishman finishing ahead. In Formula 2, Kenneth Eriksson, driving the Hyundai, managed to hang on to the lead, despite picking up road penalties for fixing a sticking throttle. Alistair McRae's problems were more severe. An oil leak set fire to his wire loom when he was lying second.
Dat is helemaal niet goed. Not good at all.
The third day of the rally started from Borlänge and covered 430 kilometers, including 98 on 5 competitive stages. Carlos Sainz had come runner-up in this event for the past 3 years and was determined to put Tommy Mäkinen under pressure on the final leg. Spaniard reduced the gap and set up a thrilling finale for the last stage, leaving Tommy Mäkinen a little perplexed.
First one was very good, we were fastest, but maybe then I slowed down a bit and Carlos and Didier made incredible times.
I don't know where they find this good speed. I felt very good after the stage.
Yeah.
We managed to get a few seconds from Thomas, so not bad at the moment.
The other battle of the day raged between Thomas Rodstrom and Didier Auriol, fighting for third place.
Oh yeah.
Their contest too would be decided on the final stage. Auriol started just 4.3 seconds behind and posted the fastest time, but it wasn't enough.
Oh, easy. Whoa. Okay. Goed gedaan, ja.
Burns had begun the leg with only 5 seconds lead on Kankkunen. Their intra-team battle for fifth continued throughout the day. But in the end, the leg finished how it started. Burns 5 seconds ahead of his more experienced teammate.
Okay, goed zo, Richard. Huh?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't make any big difference where you're fifth or sixth.
Kenneth Eriksson went into the final test with a 35-second lead in the Formula 2 category.
Oh.
But engine problems stopped the Hyundai driver
Heb
in
ik
his
gezien, ja.
tracks.
Beetje brand. Beetje vuur.
Mäkinen did make it through the final stage, but had to wait for Sainz to find out whether he had won.
Of course, there is still somebody coming behind, but I think they can come 24. Carlos can come 24 seconds faster. I think it should be enough.
It was Mäkinen had won.
Mitsubishi is really dominating the season now. They have been winning everywhere. Asphalt, gravel, mud. Six consecutive wins, and somehow we have to stop them. It's getting a little bit boring now.
Mäkinen's second win of the season and his third.
Ja, dat is Carlos down. Moet een geweldige nederlaag.
After 3.5 hours of rallying, just 18 seconds separated Mäkinen
Ja,
and
kijk, dat is toch niet zoveel hoor.
to focus his first official podium.
Ja.
That win gave Mäkinen maximum points from the first 2 rounds.
Ja, hij is goed bezig, onze Mäkinen, hè. Doing a good job, Mäkinen. Good start.
7 points clear of
Mitsubishi
Toyota.
too. Mitsubishi ook. Ja, nu naar even mijn favoriete rallies.
Third round of the
Safari.
championship took the teams to Kenya for the Safari Rally.
Yeah, one
It's
of
the
my
longest
favorites.
and toughest event on the calendar, and the only World Championship rally held on open roads. The event would require the drivers to draw on all their abilities.
It's a completely different question of surviving, intelligence, endurance.
Take no chances.
A little bit unpredictable.
Very hot, very rough.
The rally's unique demands required race suspension
very rough.
and air intakes for the
heel.
engines, but there were
Moeilijke
difficulties
rally,
the teams
ook.
couldn't prepare for.
Problem is the animal.
Pre-rally conditions were exceptionally hot and dry, but that would have little effect on an event that's remarkably tough, whatever the weather. This year's event started with a short super competitive section where drivers battled it out head to head. Petter Solberg was Ford's third number 2 driver in as many events. The Norwegian replaced Thomas Rodstrom, who broke his leg prior to the recce. The 24-year-old finished 10th fastest over the 2.5-kilometre section. Harry Rovanperä hoped to put the disappointment of Sweden behind him and drove well, finishing the day in 8th. After a recce accident, Colin McRae started the rally with a broken thumb, but nevertheless posted the 4th fastest time on stage 1. Pierre Eliatti and Richard Burns were out together. The Italian, back after being replaced by snow specialist Gronholm at the last round, was 5th fastest. Burns, who won here last year, placed the Subaru 2nd. Carlos Sainz, who won this event in 1992, got his Safari Rally off to a good start, finishing the section 3rd. 4 places in front of his teammate, Didier Auriol. compatriots Mäkinen and Kankkunen raced each other in the opening test. It was the Subaru driver's 130th World Championship start and marked it by winning the stage with Mäkinen down in 12th.
Ja, mooi. Goed bezig.
The competition began in earnest the following day, running over 300 kilometers of competitive stages. The notoriously tough rally didn't take long to claim its first victim. Freddie Loix and co-driver Sven Smits suffered a high-speed flip on the day's second stage.
Ja, ze even niet goed van.
This hole in 5th gear instead of 2nd, and the car went end over end. Freddie's fine, he's back in the hospital, we've done an x-ray and there's nothing broken, a bit of whiplash and he's on painkillers, so we're pleased to hear that. And Sven, his co-driver, he's walking about, he's fine.
Ja, gelukkig maar. Ze zijn prima in orde, man. Was toch een zwaar ongeluk, hè? Ja, dat is ook jammer.
The Mitsubishi driver lost 12 minutes when he suffered 2 flat tyres. The help he received from locals prompted accusations of illegal outside assistance.
Ja, onzin, hè.
An eventful first
Dat is
leg
bullshit,
was
but
over, with
okay.
Burns leading from Sainz, McRae, Oriol, Mäkinen and Liati. Another 4 long and difficult stages awaited the drivers on leg 2. Burns, first on the road, was fastest over the opening stage and was leading by over 25 seconds when disaster struck.
Uh-oh.
Is there anything in the car we can use?
I can't advise you, Richard, because I don't know where it's broken.
It's at the bottom of the hub, where the arm bolts onto the hub. It's just sheared off.
Sainz's day wasn't much better when he dropped to 6th after a series of problems.
Oh, la. God, shit.
The troubles that affected Burns and Sainz benefited Colin McRae.
Yeah.
At the moment, everything looks good, so fingers crossed.
Scotsman had a trouble-free run
So
for
far,
a couple
so
of
good.
punctures
Yeah.
to lead by almost 15 minutes. With Solberg also driving well, any anxiety the team had about durability could be laid to rest. Didier Oriol was in 2nd, 10 minutes ahead of Mäkinen after winning stage 7, but was to be bitterly disappointed when on the final section of the day he picked up 3 punctures. The Frenchman lost 17 minutes and dropped to 3rd.
Ja, dat is genoeg, ja.
After losing time the previous day, Mäkinen was surprised to be in 2nd at the end of leg 2, but the Finn wasn't without his problems.
Unfortunately, he also hit quite a hard bump, and that did a bit of damage on the left-hand front strut and also the sump guard. So we're busy changing those components just now.
Ja, veel werk voor de mechaniekers.
Here last year in a 2-wheel drive Ibiza. He was on course for a repeat of that result at the end of leg 2, despite having to drive for more than 70 kilometers on stage 7 with brake problems.
Ja, dat is ook niet ideaal, hè.
The third and final leg consisted of the 4 grueling stages used in leg 1. The gap between Colin McRae and Tommy Mäkinen on any other event would be unassailable, but on the Safari, anything is possible.
Ja, dat is waar. Alles is mogelijk in Safari Rally, dus.
The Scotsman started first on the road, but didn't drive as hard as he might, aware that a mistake could cost him the victory.
Very well, just very steady. Tommy took quite a lot of time out of us, but there's no reason to push hard. We're just being very careful.
With McRae backing off, Mäkinen had to push, and push he did, closing to within 8 minutes, but his progress was hindered.
Ja, omdat Colin zo traag rijdt. Veel stof.
For dust, because Colin was quite a lot slow, and last 40 kilometers we came in the dust, and we couldn't do anything. We had to just brake.
In the end, Mäkinen's effort had been in vain. The Finn was excluded from the event when the stewards decided he had been in breach of the service rules.
You can only service your vehicle in a designated service park. Outside of those service parks, you are not allowed any outside assistance, and you're not allowed any personnel to assist
Ja, dat is geen personeel, dus ja. Maar ja, goed.
Mäkinen's exclusion benefited the Toyota drivers most. Didier Auriol moved up to
Jammer,
second.
maar ja.
The Frenchman was quickest over the day's opening
Zo zijn de
stage.
regels nu eenmaal
Was unable to
spijtig
take the
genoeg.
challenge to the Mitsubishi driver, and so was grateful for the extra 2 points. Carlos Sainz moved up to third, although he experienced yet more problems over the tough terrain.
I broke drive shaft or the rear diff. We don't know yet. We are trying to fix it. Seems that is not my lucky event again.
But the Spaniard's luck held, and he took the final podium spot. Pierre Eliatti was looking for a points finish, but fortune was not on his side. The Italian's engine seized, ending his hopes.
Ja, dat is ook jammer.
Local driver Ian Duncan, who won this event in '94, moved up the rankings from 6th to 4th after posting the fastest time over stage 11. Petter Solberg was told his aim was to finish the rally. This he did, and even scored points by coming 5th, completing a fine performance for the team.
Ja, goed zo Solberg, goed zo.
It was Colin McRae's second win in Safari and Ford's first since 1977, denying Mitsubishi its 7th consecutive victory.
Mooi.
McRae took victory without winning a single stage. Auriol finished over 14 minutes behind. Sainz was third.
Ja.
Mäkinen still led the championship with Auriol 7 points adrift. Sainz and McRae were equal third.
Spannend. Exciting again, eh? That's why I love rally, yeah, also.
The
Always
championship
exciting.
returned to Europe for round 4 and the Portuguese rally.
Ja,
The city of Porto
ook wel
on
een
the
goeie.
west coast
Portugal rally, ook wel fijn om te zien.
backdrop.
Also a nice rally to watch.
McRae, winner. Mäkinen's the best.
Ja. A lot of McRae
24
fans.
nationalities were
Veel
represented.
McRae fans,
Marcus
precies.
Grönholm was there for Finland, substituting for the injured Freddie Loix.
Ja.
After Freddie's accident, so they called me and only for this rally. So okay, I'm only testing now for the show, so it was a good chance for me to take this.
Ja.
Grönholm had driven for Seat in Sweden earlier in the season. Skoda were also back, claiming to be better prepared than at their first appearance in Monte Carlo. Armin Schwartz and Emil Trenner were driving for the Czech team.
Ja.
We have done quite a lot of testing. We had a good gravel test, already testing also for Catalonia. I'm very happy with the car like it is. And I mean, now we will see, because the rally is very hard, very dry. It's to finish here, and if it is possible, to get to the top 10.
Ja, als het mogelijk
Leg
is.
one
Ja.
comprised of a super special, followed by 8 stages covering nearly 160 kilometers. Tommy Mäkinen had only been 5th fastest over the 3-kilometre super special, but having won the event in '97, was confident that he could take his 3rd win of the year here. However, he was to be disappointed. The Finns struggled all day with transmission problems, dropping to 9th, more than 2 minutes behind the leader.
Ja, dat is toch wel lang. Oeh, 2 minuten
We
achter.
had some strange diff problem. It doesn't keep locking at all, and that's the main reason why we've been so slow.
Didier Auriol was 4th fastest over the first stage and ran with the leaders all day, pushing himself to the limit.
Attention, on droite 5 plus arbre plonge. Attention, droite 5 plus arbre plonge. 5 plus arbre plonge.
The Toyota driver set the fastest time for stage 7, which helped him to retain 4th overnight. Colin McRae and Nicky Grist set the pace on the first leg. Fastest on 6 of the first 9 stages, they pulled out
Ja,
to
ze
lead
hadden
over
we ervoor, hè.
45 seconds. Even a puncture on stage 6 didn't slow them down. The Michelin Moose doing its job.
Dan is het goed, gelukkig maar.
Colin's very happy. I mean, I think the handling and everything of the car must be fantastic, and obviously the engine's very good because of the extra weight that we are carrying. So really it bodes very well for the future when we can get some weight off the car. I think it's going to be very, very encouraging.
Sainz posted the fastest time on stage 4, helping him to secure 3rd on the road for the start of leg 2.
Ja. Wat een goede jumps
Juha
aan.
Kankkunen was overshadowed by his teammate Richard Burns. Marcus Grönholm continued to impress on his Mitsubishi debut, running with the leaders all day to finish 5th.
Dat is goed, hè? Goed zo, Marcus. 5e. Allee, tot nu toe. Good job, Marcus.
After a promising start, the two Skoders were to hit trouble. Emil Trinner retired with clutch failure on the day's final stage. Shortly after, the same problem was to end Armin Schwartz's rally.
Too bad. Dat is wel spijtig, ja. Alle twee eruit.
With 10 stages making up leg 2, Colin McRae's lead was not unassailable. Richard Burns and the two Toyota drivers believed they could overhaul the Scotsman. McRae also had the disadvantage of starting first on the road, which is traditionally slower. His car clearing the loose gravel, making it going faster for those that follow. As predicted, the Ford driver failed to make a single stage win on the second leg and only managed 3rd fastest on 2. Nevertheless, he retained his lead. Richard Burns fought a ferocious battle with Sainz and Oriol for second place throughout the day. The Englishman won 2 stages but lost out, finishing the leg in 4th. Carlos Sainz was the victor of that battle, setting 3 fastest stage times to move into second place, 33 seconds behind McRae. Didier Auriol won 2 stages, keeping the pressure on Sainz to lie less than 2 seconds behind his teammate. Marcus Grönholm had been running consistently in the top 5, but a brake problem on stage 14 put too much strain on the clutch and it failed 2 sections later.
Ai ai, dat is ook jammer. Ja, no clutch. Geen koppeling, koppeling is kapot.
Grönholm was disappointed, but he had impressed the Mitsubishi team.
Well done as far as it got. Thank you very much for everything you did.
Grönholm wasn't the only Finn having problems. Kankkunen was also forced to retire.
Yeah.
A kilometer before the finish, the engine on the straight just stopped and started to run only on 2 cylinders. We just managed to come over the finish line, but then it stopped completely.
Leg 2 was also bad news for the Seats. Liatti and Rovanperä both retired, although the Italian's exit was the most spectacular.
Ja, juist, ja, dat weet ik nog. I remember that. Look. En daar gaat hij, hup. Come on, push! Push! Ja, de co-piloot zo meteen. De co-pilot. Oh nee, het is Piero. Push!
Another frustrating rally for the Spanish team.
Ja.
With his gearbox now working properly, Mäkinen was back up to speed, finishing the leg in 5th.
Stage was no difference at all, but slowly at the end of second stage, was getting some more. And
Bruno Thierry managed to bring his Subaru home in 6th place, despite a roll on stage 13.
Ja, ik zie het. Amai.
The final 2 stages of the day were cancelled. The loss was bad news for the top teams and drivers who'd been counted on them to make up positions. But the sheer number of spectators lining the sections raised safety issues which could not be ignored.
Ja, dat is altijd zo, hè. Portugal is populair, hè.
Consisting of 4 special stages covering just 60 kilometers. This would make it very difficult for Sainz, Oriol and Burns to do much about McRae's lead, unless the Scotsman met with problems. McRae again had the disadvantage of starting first on the road, although it didn't seem to slow him too much, losing just 3 seconds on the first 2 stages. Carlos Sainz kept the Ford driver under pressure, chipping away at his lead until with 1 stage to go, the gap was down to 20 seconds. Oriol in turn kept the pressure on his teammate, even with this mistake.
Ja. Sorry, dat is niet erg.
Richard Burns failed to get to grips with the lead battle on the final day, and even came under attack from Tommi Mäkinen on a late charge. The Finn won the last 3 stages of the day in a tremendous comeback drive, which would net him 5th overall. Bruno Thierry concentrated on getting to the finish after his accident on the previous day. Having led from the first stage, Colin McRae took his 2nd win of the season, opening up the prospect of a championship battle, which 2 rounds ago was looking like a foregone conclusion.
Ja,
Formula
goed
2
gedaan,
was
Colin.
dominated by Hyundai, with teammates Alistair McRae and Kenneth Eriksson battling throughout the event. McRae emulated his brother by taking the win.
Nou, voilà. Leven in familie.
2 consecutive wins and a very competitive looking package gave the older McRae plenty of reason to celebrate his Portuguese victory. The Scot finished over 12 seconds ahead of Sainz. Oriol was third, a further 4 seconds adrift. Mäkkinen's 5th place was enough to keep him at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Now only 2 points in front of McRae.
Ja.
Toyota led in the Constructors' Championship. Round 5 of the championship took the teams to Spain for the 35th Rally Catalunya Costa Brava.
Ja. Spanje. Wat was gewoon aan? Also a nice rally actually. All of them, all of them actually, ja. Ze zijn allemaal wel goed, de rallies. Ja, alle dan. Die heeft een Oriol.
The event consisted of 19 stages run over 400 competitive kilometres and also marked the return of Freddie Loix after his accident at the Safari Rally. The Belgian missed the last round in Portugal but was confident of carrying on where he'd left off.
Ja, hij is terug, dat is goed dan. Ja.
Yes, I'm very well and I'm very happy because yesterday I did my first drive with the rally car on the tarmac and straight away I had a good feeling, no pain anymore, so yeah, it's okay.
Fully recovered, Loix hoped to repeat the performance of last year when he finished second.
No.
Catalunya was the first all-tarmac event of the season after 4 rounds run on loose or snow-covered surfaces. The abrasive nature of some of the stages meant that drivers had to be careful with their tyres, in addition to adjusting their driving styles.
Well, obviously from gravel, you try not to slide the car around too much. The more you slide the car around, the more work the tyres have to do, and the more likely it is that they'll lose some performance before the end of the stage. So you try and keep it fairly neat as if you're on a racetrack, but obviously there's other things which sort of conspire against you, so you don't always get the chance. Like it's faster if you cut inside some corners and that kind of thing.
Ja, goed hoor. Wel nice eigenlijk, hè?
The drivers would cover 135 kilometres in the opening leg, which took them north around Vic and Girona through 8 stages that have long been part of the rally. Tommy Mäkinen, as championship leader, started first on the road, but would soon encounter problems.
Anyway.
Pirun pitkä oikein nopea, helppo ja pitkä vasen nopea.
Gewoon veel mensen, ja, ook hè.
Ja oikein nopea, 3.
Alle spectators too, hè.
The sheer number of spectators, which are normally well controlled by marshals and local police, made the stage too dangerous for the competitors to continue.
Aye, aye.
Stage 1 has been cancelled. Stage 1 has been cancelled and be run as a road section. I'll confirm stage 2 as soon as I have some more details.
The fans weren't too disappointed as they made their way to the next section.
Yeah.
Restarting at stage 2, McRae and Gris were hoping for a top 3 finish until the 5th test.
We think that it must have been a gradual failure. As soon as we left service, this part started to fail. It got to the point where we had no power. We could still drive, but we had no power. So we drove through the whole of stage 5, stopping at one point to check something in the middle of the stage to see if it was that. But we were talking to the service as we were going, and finished that stage losing 4 minutes, carried on to the next and drove through the next with exactly the same problem.
Oriol suffered problems of his own on the same stage, breaking 2 wheel rims. But the ATS Moose worked and the Frenchman was the fastest of the WRC drivers, winning stages 6 and 7 to end his day in 3rd, 1 place in front of his teammate. Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya were on home ground. The Spaniard was not short on local support and reported no problems, finishing the day 7 seconds behind Oriol. It had been nearly a year since Freddie Loix last drove on asphalt, and he took it steady, gaining confidence on every stage to end the leg in 6th. It was the Formula 2 Citroën for 7 pace on the opening day. The two-wheel drive 2-litre cars have a greater power-to-weight ratio than the WRC cars, giving them an advantage on asphalt. Philippe Begowski used that advantage to lie second at the end of the first leg.
Dat is alles vorig jaar, het jaar ervoor, hè.
Jesus Perez won 4 of the day's stages to open up an overnight lead of 7 seconds.
Ja, we zullen wel zien hoe lang het duurt, hè, die leiding.
Leg 2 took the
Kijk.
drivers southwest along 6 stages and
Ja, same as last.
kilometers
You know,
around
1998, hè, same.
There was no repeat of the leg 1's crowd control problems and the first stage
We will see
was
how long
run
it
as
lasts, hè.
planned.
We zullen zien hoe lang het duurt met die
But there
F2-wagens.
were
Voilà,
problems
hup.
for rally leader Jesus Perez. His car refused to start.
Voilà,
The
that's what I
Spaniard had
mean.
no option but to retire.
You can have a fast car, but if it doesn't work, hè. Je kan een snelle auto hebben, maar als hem niet werkt, werkt hij niet dus.
That
Voilà.
meant teammate Philippe Begowski inherited the lead. The Frenchman still had to perform on the road though. Didier Auriol was quickest over stage 11, wary of Sainz not far
Oef.
behind.
Pas met te couperen, hè, want don't cut too
But the
much,
Spaniard
look,
dropped
that's...
back after losing time on stage 13.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Tommy Mäkinen lost time too after receiving a 1-minute penalty for jump-starting the day's opening stage. He dropped to 5th.
Hey, that's too bad.
Loïc Benedicting
Jammer.
moved
Whoa.
up to 4th. Subaru were concerned about the lack of grip from their Pirellis.
Loix plus 2, Burns plus 10, Thierry plus 15.
Burns enjoyed a trouble-free run on the day's longest stage to move into a point-scoring position. McRae was not so fortunate. After winning 2 tests, he suffered a puncture. The time lost added to the previous day's setback ruled him out of contention.
Pleased with the performance today that Colin's done, and disappointed that we've actually had to pull out of a rally. It's not really the thing that you want to do. I mean, really we would have retired probably last night, bearing in mind what happened yesterday. But because we've got so little testing mileage, etc., on dry asphalt, we felt it was very important to continue today to learn how and give us the right specification and to work along with Michelin developing the right tyre combination as well for Corsica for the long stages that we'll encounter out there.
After 2 straight wins, it was a disappointing end to McRae's rally.
Ja,
The
dat wel,
third and
ja.
final leg consisted of 5 stages, covering 91 kilometers and finishing on Lorette de Mar's seafront.
Jammer voor Colin, maar ja. De Fortune was nog nieuw,
Begowski
dus.
notched up another 2 fastest stage times and led by 34 seconds going into the final test. The lightweight Citroën was at home on the flowing stages of the Catalan mountains. Didier Auriol's hopes of catching the Citroën driver faded fast. The Toyota driver won the final stage, but ultimately had to be satisfied with 2nd place. Carlos Sainz had started the day 3rd, and while catching his teammate was looking unlikely, at least his podium position appeared secure. But the local hero's awful luck struck again. The Spaniard suffered 2 punctures and damaged his fan belt, dropping him out of the top 6.
Oef. That's rough. Ai, ai, dat is jammer.
We are out of the point, yeah? Is there any chance for us? Do you want us to try to change the alternator belt ourselves and try to continue, or I think we're going to stop here?
Freddie Loix drove steadily over the final day, experiencing no problems, but was no match for his teammate, who won 2 stages to pass the Belgian for 3rd.
Tommy is going very, very quick at the moment, and it's impossible for me to do the same times as him. For me now, I think more to the finish.
Loix made it to the end in 4th, 1 place in front of Burns, while Begowski had done enough to give a Formula 2 car outright victory in a World Championship event for the first time.
Yeah.
I am very, very happy. For Citroën is a good day, and for FBG it's good day.
For us, on the start of the season, we say, okay, for the manufacturer, the kit car don't take point, but why not the pilot also? I mean, we do the championship world driver.
While the World Rally Championship drivers were unhappy about points being lost to Formula 2, no one could deny that Begowski deserved the victory. The Citroëns had led from start to finish, taking their first World Championship win.
Wel, hij verdient de overwinning, ja. Het is gewoon jammer van de klassen, hè.
In the
Maar ja,
championship,
goed.
Mäkinen still led ahead of Auriol
Het is wat het
and
is, hè.
McRae. The championship visited the French island of Corsica for round 6.
Nou ja.
Centred around the town of Ajaccio, the rally has been won
We
by
zijn
a
in
Frenchman
Corsica, hè.
38 times. After his dominant display in Spain, the Formula 2 Citroën with Filip Begowski at the wheel started as one of the favourites, but would be facing competition from Didier Auriol, who had won this rally 6 times, although the Toyota driver had another reason to celebrate this year.
Die Auriol heeft hier al 6 keer gewonnen in Corsica dus. Hij is wel een favoriet.
Your 100th start, I believe.
Auriol started his World Rally career here, taking his first Tour de Course win in 1988.
It's a long time I am in this championship, but I think it's very nice feeling to be still here and to be still in a fight with a young driver.
After their Formula 2 campaign last year, Peugeot joined the World Rally Championship in Corsica, debuting its 206.
Ja, juist ja.
Confident because
Jean-Pierre Nicolaïa
said that the cars are quite good, quite fast.
Delacour demonstrated just how fast they were, taking the lead after stage 2.
We are very, very happy because 10 days ago it was difficult to know something about the car, and now we are leading in Tour de Course, and it's a fantastic moment.
The Frenchman finished the first leg in second, but problems on day 2 dropped him to 7th.
That's jammer.
It was Filip Begowski who led at the end of the first day after winning 3 stages. He won another 3 on the following leg to take a 6-second lead.
Okay.
His main challenge came from teammate Jesus Puras. The Spaniard was fastest over 2 tests on the first and second days and took 2 more on the third, keeping Begowski under pressure. Carlos Sainz was one of 2 WRC drivers able to compete with the Citroëns, finishing the second leg in third.
Oh, my, dat is wel, ja. Binnenweg.
Colin McRae was the other. The Scotsman won the opening stage, but dropped back thereafter to lie 9 seconds behind Sainz after the second day. Richard Burns endeavoured to keep up with the leaders, but struggled for grip on his Pirelli tyres. He finished in 7th, 3 minutes behind the winner.
Too bad. But okay, it happens, huh?
Corsica boasted a final live stage for which bonus points were awarded.
Ja.
Peugeot's promise came to an abrupt end, however, when Delacour was forced to retire.
Tja, dat is altijd jammer natuurlijk.
Tommy Mäkinen also had a difficult day, suffering a series of mechanical problems which never really allowed him to challenge. The Finn was therefore grateful to reach the finish in the points. Didier Auriol, who had performed so well here in the past, failed to compete with the leaders. But at least he achieved one objective, to beat Mäkinen and close on him in the championship.
Ja, klopt wel, ja. Zolang hij voor Mäkinen is het goed, hè.
With the 2 Citroëns becoming uncatchable, Carlos Sainz had a fight on his hands to retain third from Colin McRae. The battle continued over the third leg until, with 1 stage to run, the rivals were separated by just 0.2 of a second. McRae had started that final test ahead of Sainz. The top 3 would be awarded 3, 2 and 1 points respectively. But McRae would lose out on his fight with Sainz and the extra points when he pushed his car into a spin.
Ja, ai, dat is jammer. Een beetje schade zie ik. Tja, het is allemaal snel gebeurd natuurlijk, hè.
The winner, beyond doubt, for the second rally in succession was Filip Begowski, the Frenchman beating Jesus Puras. It was Begowski's second win in Corsica, after taking victory for Renault in '96, and his team were more than happy.
Ja, 2 overwinningen achter elkaar voor Citroën, ja.
Merci, monsieur.
Mooi.
Allez, Bug. Jean-Claude. Merci.
In the end, Begowski had more than 34 seconds on his teammate. Sainz in third was over a minute behind, with McRae, Auriol and Mäkinen completing the top 6.
Ja, echt wel snelle wagens trouwens, hè.
Auriol's 3 bonus points for the live stage win moved him to within a point of Mäkinen in the Drivers' Championship.
Ja, spannend. Kijk dat, jongens. Mooi. Nu zijn we in Argentinië, ja. Now we are in Argentina. Ja.
Round 7 took the teams to Argentina. Since 1993, the winner of this event has gone on to win the championship. And for the last 3 years, that has been Tommi Mäkinen.
It's been often it's been very good fight with the Colin, and then always something has happened for him, and then it's been quite easy to go to win. You can easily make a little, you slide somewhere a little bit wide and you break immediately.
Winless in Sweden, the Mitsubishi driver was looking for a change of fortune. The rally was based in Cordoba and comprised of 22 stages, running at altitudes of up to 2,000 meters, the highest on the FIA calendar. After a preliminary super special, leg 1 began in earnest, with Tommi Mäkinen first on the road. The triple world champion had started the day lying second on the leaderboard, but soon ran into problems.
Oei, oei, dat was niet goed, hè. Wat voor problemen. Oeh. Ola.
The Finn lost over a minute.
I have a gearbox problem. Fourth gear is one of the most important gear. It's really
versnellingsbakproblemen, ja.
One of the drivers to benefit was Didier Auriol. The Frenchman had won this event twice, and lying just 1 point behind the world champion, was confident of beating him.
Oei, ja. Dat is de verkeerde kant, vrees ik. Ai, ai. Not
we
good.
broke a part of the suspension that we had a problem with in the test. And it just means there's absolutely no way you can continue.
Ja.
Carlos Sainz didn't lose too much time slowing
Over en
for the
uit,
stricken
jammer
board,
genoeg.
but
100 meters beginning of the stage, we have to stop in the middle of the stage and close the bonnet.
Ja,
in
dat
contrast to
is
Ford and Toyota,
jammer.
Subaru
Ai,
were
ai.
having a fantastic day. Juha Kankkunen set 3 fastest stage times. The latest developments to the car were proving successful.
Yeah, it has gone well. Like I said, that we did a good testing race and found something, you know, and it seems to be that it's working much better than I thought, actually.
It's good, hè?
The car's working really well here. The tyres as well. We have like a slightly narrower tyre than Michelin, so the Pirelli seem to be biting into the road quite a lot better.
With Didier Auriol only 3.5 seconds behind the leader, the second leg promised a brilliant battle. Another 7 stages lay ahead, with the Subarus out first.
Ja, mooi.
Kankkunen
Goed
got
voor
off to a
Subaru.
slow
Nice.
start. Unable to beat Auriol or his teammate on the opening stage, he dropped to third, 4 seconds behind the Frenchman.
60 mètres piège.
Wow, easy man. Wow, look at me go. Dat was mooi gedaan.
Pace of Burns and slipped behind. Carlos Sainz won 2 tests to retain 4th overnight. Tommi Mäkinen recovered from problems in the morning to finish 5th, while Thomas Rodstrom enjoyed a trouble-free day to end it in 6th. Even with his time penalty, Richard Burns managed to take a lead into the final leg, while Auriol won his day-long battle with Kankkunen. With victory still up for grabs, the third day presented drivers with another 6
shit,
points,
my.
and Burns set about increasing
was
his lead
right,
by
that
winning
was-
the first stage. Didier Auriol continued his fight with Kankkunen. The Toyota driver was still ahead after the opening test, but started to fall back on the next. Once in front of the Frenchman, Kankkunen had his sights set on his teammate. The Finn was fastest over 3 stages to end up only 1.2 seconds behind Burns before the final section.
Dat is een aanval, hè? Mooi.
While the leaders
Attacking.
battled it out for the top spot, Tommi Mäkinen dual win and passed the Spaniard after the Toyota developed transmission problems. With 1 stage left, it was suggested that Burns and Kankkunen should not take it.
No.
Disappointment for Richard Burns, but a great win for Juha Kankkunen. It was the Finns' first since Portugal in 1994 and his 22nd in total, equaling Carlos Sainz's record of championship victories.
Ja, een beetje een raar einde met een rally, maar ja, goed. Ja, als hij sneller is, is hij sneller, hè?
Thousands of spectators were there to help him celebrate. The veteran World Rally driver had demonstrated that he's far from finished yet.
We waren niet echt teamorders, dus ja. Tja. Maar ja, goed.
Kankkunen won by just 2.4 seconds.
Ah, kijk eens.
Auriol a further 37 seconds back, with Mäkinen, Sainz and Rodstrom completing the point scorers.
Ja, dat is niet veel, hè.
Oriel's podium finish meant that he was now equal on points with Mäkinen. Sainz and McRae were tied in
Heel
third.
spannend, look at that. Oh.
2 Toyotas in the top 6 gave the Japanese manufacturer a 26-point lead.
Ja, dat is wel de
Mitsubishi was
moeite.
second.
Dat is de volgende nu dingen. Ah, Griekenland, ja. Greece, yes. Hey, Stavros.
Halfway through the season and the championship returned to Europe in the heat of summer for the Acropolis Rally.
Ja, dat is ook zo'n
Notorious for its
ruwe rally.
car-wrecking
Kijk eens,
stages,
jongen.
the event
Look
was
at
based
that.
in the resort of Agi Theodori,
Can be
west
very
of the
rough.
capital. The rally featured 21 special stages, but some were so severe they had to be shortened.
Oef, ja.
Well, it was just impossible. Yeah, it wasn't too rough, it was just impossible to physically drive cars over it.
Another feature of the rally was the searing temperatures, regularly rising above 30 degrees Celsius, making the event very thirsty work.
Ja, heel warm daar natuurlijk, hè. Dus dat is wel, ja.
Hydration is absolutely crucial because these guys are losing anything up to 8 litres of fluid a day.
Drink and that's it.
Dat is een bagger.
The controversial end to the Argentinian rally, Richard Burns came to Greece fired up and aiming to take his first win for the Japanese manufacturer. The mix-up on the final stage in South America stunned the Englishman, but the character-building incident has only underlined his determination to succeed. The first leg was split over 2 days.
Veel verkeer
Super
precies.
special on the first. With over 20,000 spectators turning out, not even the competitors could escape the traffic.
Ja,
Not that it
precies niet,
slowed
hè.
them down once they'd arrived. Carlos Sainz went third fastest, while Freddie Likes beat Pierre Eliarty to come second overall.
Marcus
But it was
Grönholm.
Marcus Grönholm who
Hey.
set the pace on the initial test, driving the Peugeot on its return to the series. The rally began in earnest the following day and included 135 kilometres of special stages. The overnight leaders' rally was to be short-lived when he broke his clutch on the opening stage.
Ai, ai. Dat is jammer. Koppelingstuk. Ai, ai.
This left Tommy Mäkinen running first on the road, sweeping the loose gravel and destroying his tyres in the process,
Whoa.
although he still managed
Watch
to
out.
finish the
Pas
day
op
in
allemaal.
second.
Sheesh.
Oriel and Girardet were struggling before they hit trouble on stage 6.
Inside of his corner was
Oh.
a milestone. We haven't
Ja, dat is niet
noticed
goed.
it during recce. So we hit this stone and we broke the front suspension.
It was the end of their rally.
Ai,
Colin
ai.
McRae
Ja,
running
snel
third on the road
gebeurd,
was
hè.
ideally
Nogmaals.
placed to take advantage of the road sweeping by earlier runners. The Scotsman was quickest over the opening stage to lead overnight. Carlos Sainz set consistently fast times, but couldn't match the front runners.
Oh, shit. Oh, ja. Valt nog mee. Ik had erger verwacht. Dat had erger gezegd.
Juha Kankinen had taken the lead after stage 4, but a puncture on the 6th dropped him back. Burns was fastest over 5 stages to take the lead, but took a 30-second penalty in order to start 4th the following day.
Ja.
Thomas Rodstrom was leading the event after stage 3, but encountered problems on the next test.
Oh, shit. Oh. Ja,
The
niet
Swede hit a
gemakkelijk.
rock, causing an oil leak and his eventual retirement. Freddie Likes pushed hard during the first leg to end it in 5th, 17 seconds behind the leader.
Oef, dat is wel genoeg, ja.
While Harry Rovanpera was counting himself lucky to be able to walk away from his Seat after a tyre blowout on the day's final stage.
Nou ja, daar gaat de band. Bam, en dan, ja. Goh.
That stage would also end Alistair McRae's rally. The Hyundai driver had been leading the Formula 2 category when he lost oil pressure.
Ja.
Burns' tactical decision left him nearly 14 seconds behind McRae. The Scotsman was out first, and acting as road sweeper led to a frustrating morning. But worse was still to come.
Ja, daar gaat de body ook niet precies, hè. Versnellingsbak. Ja, ja,
McRae was
oké.
stuck in first gear and unable to continue.
Ja, dat is jammer.
Mäkinen was also having problems.
Heti oikein nopea aukee. 5, vasen ja K oikein kirraa pitkä nopea plus helppo.
It was worse for Carlos Sainz. A puncture on stage 10 left the Spaniard to drive the last 7 kilometers on 3 wheels.
Oef.
Richard Burns was back in the lead,
wielen.
but he too found the going tough.
Job 40, fast
Oef.
left. The fast left.
Come on.
Nothing.
Hij is stilgevallen, ja.
Despite gearbox problems, the Englishman's tactics had worked, and he led going into leg 3. Although
Okay.
his dramas weren't over.
40, easy left.
Oh shit. Woo.
Freddie Loix had been running strongly in the top 6.
Oké,
He had a
gelukkig.
crisis of
Wat
his
gelukt.
own.
Rechts 63 smal.
Come on, fast Freddy. Doe je best.
Subiever rechts daarvoor.
Ja, oké
The
dan.
damage was mainly cosmetic, and the Mitsubishi driver finished the day in 4th.
Ja, amai.
Juha Kankkunen had a disappointing leg.
Was ook wel
Stage
schade,
11 was
hè?
the Finns' last when the cross member on the Subaru broke for no apparent reason.
Well, it's a suspension failure. It's actually where all the suspension mounts into the cross member on the front suspension. The cross member's just cracked and broken completely.
Liati struggled with engine problems until steering failure on stage 15 put him out of the rally.
150 pista.
Oh shit, whoa.
Despite losing a minute with a broken
Yeah.
shock absorber and incurring a time penalty for leaving the last service area late, Francois Delacour placed the Peugeot 5th overnight.
Ja. Niet ideaal, maar
The
ja,
final
te
leg
lang
made
erin.
use of 5 of day 1 stages, and with the roads already swept from the previous run, Burns was in a good position to take advantage.
Well, that was the idea, that was the plan, and it worked perfectly. If I was running first, I would have been the one losing 15 seconds, so it was the right thing to do.
The Subaru driver was fastest over the opening 3 stages to increase his lead to nearly 50 seconds over Carlos Sainz.
Ja, de tactiek werkt goed, ja.
The Spaniard pushed hard, but hampered by a damaged shock absorber, was no match for the Englishman.
Oh, la la. Mooi.
Tommy Mäkinen was also held back by problems, but after dropping behind his teammate on stage 18, the triple world champion hit back to retake the position. Freddie Loix recorded his best ever result in Greece.
Oh, kijk, dat is die schade, joh.
Mitsubishi in the Manufacturers Championship.
Jezus. Allee, joh.
Francois Delacour suffered suspension failure and then gearbox problems, which finally put an end to his and
Oh
Peugeot's
ja,
rally.
oeh,
2
dat
stages
ziet er
from
niet
the
goed
end.
uit. Doesn't look that good.
Both Skodas finished though, with Swartz 11th and Trinner 12th, netting points in the Manufacturers Championship and giving the team a major morale boost.
Ja, de Skoda doet het dan weer wel wat beter, hè. Toch wel wat trouwbaar in deze
brought the Seoul Hyundai home
nieuwe
in first place
omstandigheden.
after dominating the Formula 2 category. But first in the World Rally Championship was Richard Burns.
Well done. Well done, Robert.
Goed, jong.
Great job.
Goed zo, Burns.
It was the Englishman's first win for Subaru, and after the bitter disappointment of Argentina, it was just the result he needed. It was one of his finest performances to date, using well thought out tactics together with a strong car tyre combination.
Ja.
Burns took victory by more than a minute from Sainz.
Maar
Mäkinen
je
and
speelt
Loix
hem,
notched
een
up
minuut
points for
voorsprong.
Mitsubishi in 3rd and 4th. Mäkinen now led the Drivers' Championship 4 points clear of Oriel. Sainz was 3rd, with McRae and Burns tied in 4th.
Ja, niet slecht, niet slecht. Ah, Nieuw-Zeeland nu. Oké, hey Kiwi, if you're still here, New Zealand.
After a month's break, the teams headed for the other side of the world and New Zealand for the 9th round of the championship. Scandinavian drivers were expected to go well in New Zealand due to the similar stage services to that of their native countries. The New Zealand rally saw Tony Gardemeister making his debut in the Seat Cordoba before it's replaced by the second Evolution. After the traditional super special on the preliminary day, the event started in earnest, with spectators looking forward to 9 stages over a distance of 140 kilometres in windy, wet conditions. Tommi Mäkinen's rally began well when he posted the fastest time over the opening stage. The triple world champion added 3 more stage wins during the day, and despite picking up a little damage in the third test, he finished the day with a lead of more than a minute. However, leading drivers running into problems.
1 minute. Oh, 1 minuut voorsprong al. Dat was de moeite.
Didier Auriol wasn't one of those drivers. The Frenchman kept out of trouble to place himself second after stage 10.
Ja.
Léger droite à fond et 200 mètres. Attention, droite, bon plus de plonge.
His teammate wasn't so fortunate. Quickest over the 7th stage, Carlos Sainz was up to 3rd when he hit trouble.
Wat voor problemen precies? Wat was het weer? Een bak precies. Slangsbak. Ah ja. Die werkt niet, dus moet je de ander gebruiken. Nou, dat is altijd goed. Dat is jammer. Alright, have to use the other one.
We got stuck in first gear in a junction and couldn't come up anymore, so I have to do 12 kilometers in first gear, and I lost over 3 minutes.
And 6 left cut, 33 right minus tightens.
But worse was to befall McRae. After moving to the head of the leaderboard, having posted his 3rd fastest time of the day, the Scotsman's engine stopped.
Ai, weer al motorproblemen. Geen rotjaar voorkomen, hè.
Burns fared no better. Having run as high as 3rd, the Englishman's transmission failed after stage 6, ending his rally and possibly his championship hopes.
Ja, dat is ook jammer.
Stages to the service here, the gearbox started cutting out like it did in Greece, and we lost sort of 10 seconds or something in one of the stages. So, like Greece, they tried to change it, but unfortunately, something was blocked and one of the pipes was blown off. And without the pressure in the system, then with this shift system, then you can't get any gears.
In stark contrast to his teammate, Juha Kankkunen had a trouble-free day to place his Subaru 3rd overnight. Thomas Rodstrom was lucky to be able to continue after rolling his focus on stage 4.
Ja, ik zie het. Amai, heeft dat gerold.
But recovered well to end the day in 5th.
We came a bit too fast in the right-hand corner and hit the bank with the left rear. And then it threw the car to the other side of the road and too much sideways and went off a bit and rolled.
Tony Gardemeister had a sensational debut, benefiting from others' misfortunes to place his Seat 4th.
Yes, I'm very happy for the result and like this and our time.
Tony Gardemeister.
I can get a very close times for the other drivers.
Tony.
And like this and
Tony de Waan on the Jew.
Leg 2, the longest of the rally, consisted of 10 stages, over 180 kilometres of gravel tracks. The battle on the road would be to catch Tommi Mäkinen.
No.
But the Mitsubishi driver wasn't about to make it easy, winning 4 of the day's stages to increase his lead to more than 1.5 minutes.
It was good start, good tyre choice, and it's good to be in first on the road. And car seems to work well, and I know this stage as well. It's no worries.
Didier Auriol had his work cut out, but was the only driver who looked capable of taking the challenge to Mäkinen. The Frenchman started well, but his charge was cut short on stage 14.
Ah ja, juist ja. Het gaat goed met Auriol tot nu. Dat herinner ik me nog goed, ja. En... dat was... ja. Kijk, gedaan. Gedaan.
Lost a wheel and 3 minutes.
Hij rijdt toch wel, maar 3 minuten verloren dus. Dat is gedaan, hè.
We have seen we have lost 2 wheels, but we go check and we say okay. We call the spectator, push the car, and we come back on the road, and okay, we start again, and that's it.
That incident moved Kankkunen up to 2nd, but the Finn was not relying on other people's mistakes and set 3 fastest stage times during the course of the day. Tony Gardemeister completed a finished trio at the top of the leaderboard. Local driver Possenborn had battled with the front runners on the first day.
Kiwi, Possenborn.
But still managed to end the day 6th. Thomas Rodstrom won 2 stages, maintaining his hold on 4th. But it wasn't plain sailing. The Swede was kept on his toes by Carlos Sainz until the Spaniard slid into a ditch.
We're 7th now, we have to work tomorrow very hard.
Another 85 kilometres and 7 competitive stages awaited the drivers on the 3rd leg. Mäkkinen's lead looked safe, and he started well, setting fastest times over the opening 3 stages. But with the dramas that had affected some of the other top drivers, the team would just have to wait and see if he made it to the finish.
Ja, laten we het afwachten dan.
Juha Kankkunen was a long way behind and drove consistently, regularly setting times in the top 3. Tony Gardemeister was in a similar position, too far behind to catch Kankkunen and far enough ahead of Rodstrom not to take any risks. The Seat driver's place was made even more secure when the Swede made a mistake.
Ah ja, dat is vergissing, ja. Oei, ja, hier gaat hem. Kijk, dat weer goed nog. There he goes, yeah, remember that.
Here we are. I'm sorry.
Too bad.
Quite silly really, because they had a comfortable position. They
Dat is spijtig, ja.
And they couldn't really catch Tony in front of them. So it's a big mistake.
Rodstrom's retirement elevated Oriol to 4th, but he was having problems of his own.
When I touch the brake, the car nearly to spin always on the braking. So we try just to go through the 3 last stage.
Possum Bourne kept up the pace to finish a fine 5th, but it was Mäkkinen's day.
Ja, Mäkkinen wint, ja, voilà. Heb het gehaald.
Well done, fantastic drive by both of you. We really put the others in their place this time. Well done.
It's fantastic for the team, fantastic for Tommy. You know, he's had a jinx here in New Zealand. He's always performed very well. He likes the conditions, but he's never managed to win it. And it's taken him longer to win this than it normally takes him to win a rally.
Juha Kankkunen brought his Subaru home in 2nd place, pleasing team owner David Richards.
Yeah, it was very good actually.
Ja, dat was een goed resultaat, hè. Tweede plek.
We have been about equal, but couldn't catch him anymore. And we had a bit of fight yesterday with Didier, but then he went off and that's it.
Tony Gardemeister had an incredible debut, finishing 3rd and producing Seat's best result to date.
Ja, dat is heel goed nieuws natuurlijk, ja.
Kenneth Eriksson took victory in Formula 2 after Alison McRae had an accident on the 2nd day.
It's absolutely fantastic to win, and on top of that, it's my 100th World Championship rally. I'm feeling great in the moment. Fantastic.
Tommy Mäkinen with plenty to celebrate after winning his first rally in 7 events.
Ja, dat is waar. He's back on track.
A finish 1, 2, 3.
Ja, allemaal vinden de top 3. Ja.
That win left Mäkinen with a healthy 11-point lead in the Drivers' Championship.
Hij heeft Tommy Mäkinen weer aangebroken.
Toyota still led the manufacturers, but Mitsubishi were closing, with Subaru not far behind.
Ja. Voilà, Rally Finland. Wel een van de betere.
The teams returned to Europe for round 10, with Finland hosting its 49th World Championship rally. Formerly known as the Rally of 1,000 Lakes, the event is one of the fastest on the calendar. Tommy Mäkinen had won his home event 5 consecutive times and was confident of making it 6 after his victory in New Zealand. Oriol and Sainz were the only 2 non-Scandinavians to have won here, while Juha Kankkunen hopes to take his 3rd win on home soil.
Ja, klopt, ja. Didier Oriol en Carlos Sainz hebben hier al eens gewonnen in het verleden.
Leg 1 left
Een van de weinige niet-Scandinaviërs.
and ran to the north and west of the city over 7 stages. It's a rally where experience counts more than most, and one man with plenty of experience was Tommy Mäkinen.
Ja.
First on the road, the Finn found himself sweeping the loose gravel for those following, but wasn't too disheartened at failing to win a stage, knowing he could make up some of the deficit on leg 2. Oriol reported no problems, bar a couple of heavy landings over the jumps, and lay 1 place behind his championship rival at the end of the leg. His teammate did have problems though. Sainz incurred a 10-second penalty for jumping the start on the final stage, which dropped him from 5th to 8th. Juha Kankkunen had a great start, posting the fastest time on the opening section and followed that with another on stage 4. While McRae played catch-up after stalling early on.
50, 6 right over crest.
While McRae charged hard, Burns deliberately slowed down.
132.
Ja, weer al tactiek hè. Je vertraagt een beetje, ja. Het werkt niet altijd, maar
It's going to be better for us
soms
to
wel
be
natuurlijk hè.
not running first car on the road basically. If it's dry, then it's going to clear obviously with more cars that go over. But really for me, it's only the second time here, and tomorrow's roads are more specialised than today's, and it's going to be beneficial for me to be able to see other people's lines, especially with Marcus and Newhart. They obviously know exactly where they're going, so that's my policy.
Marcus Grönholm wasn't interested in tactics, setting 2 fastest times on his way to the top of the leaderboard.
Try to go fast
Ja, je gaat ervoor hè.
that's the first car on the road, so we will try this way. I hope this is the right decision.
Leg 2 took the drivers on a journey of more than 600 kilometres, of which 200 made up the 10 competitive stages. With the top 6 covered by less than 24 seconds, it was still anyone's rally.
Ja, dat wel.
Grönholm was first on the road, and it cost him as it had Mäkinen the previous day.
Ja. Hier voor die stage, ja. Dat is altijd, ja, dat is minder hè.
Despite being quickest over the opening stage, he would not set another. And to make matters worse, he incurred a 50-second service penalty.
Ja, nee, toch, ja. Oh, dat is wel jammer.
If we are fourth or something, it will be the best fourth, fifth, but 10 seconds after the leader, so it will be the best.
Häkkinen took the lead after the leg's second stage. The Finn, determined to win his home rally, notched up 2 fastest stage times to stay ahead for the rest of the day.
Ja, hij wil natuurlijk wel winnen hè. Johan Häkkinen, zijn eigen...
His teammate Richard Burns
eigen
also
land.
made good progress. Whilst not as quick as Häkkinen, he managed to stay in touch.
Hopla, allemaal jumps. Ja, dan noemen ze daar jumps hè. Niet jumps, maar jumps noemen ze het daar in Finland. Een andere jump.
Thomas Rodstrom had a more eventful day.
Oh ja.
An easy left minus over jump 150. Easy right plus over.
Oh ja, kijk. Oh man, that's pretty big off.
When we landed after a couple of jumps, I had the steering a little bit the wrong angle, and then the car went immediately to the ditch.
Ja,
He dropped
jammer.
to 22nd, but Mäkinen was to retire.
Ah, oké. Ai.
Well, he was just approaching a junction at 16 kilometres, and he was over a jump and braking down to a junction left, and he just seemed to lose all drive. We don't know exactly what went wrong, but it was something fairly simple.
Retired, ai.
Diego had difficulties on his own. The
Jammer.
Frenchman struggled over the morning stages with mechanical problems and began to drop back before coming into service.
There seems to have been some form of imbalance in the transmission there somewhere.
His engineers did quite a lot of work on the car, but it appeared to make very little difference, with the Toyota driver continuing to struggle in the afternoon, dropping to 9th.
Oef, 9e. Ja, dat is...
Harry Rovanpera led
Niet
the
zo goed.
Seat assault. After hitting a rock on stage 14, he recovered well to end the leg in a point-scoring position. In comparison with his teammates, Sainz had a fantastic day. The double world champion setting 4 fastest stage times to move from 8th to 2nd.
Amai, 8e naar 2e.
Colin McRae won
Dat is
3
mooi.
stages to match Sainz's progress through the field. The Scotsman claimed that his lack of experience at this event had cost him time, but it didn't show, with the focus coping well on the rutted roads.
Ah ja, vrij logisch. Kom aan, landgenoot, kom op. Ouch. Oh. Shit hè,
Freddie
ja.
Woods managed to make it to the end of the stage, but he dropped to 14th.
Dat is jammer. Oeh.
It went a little bit sideways, and I went with the back in the grass, and in that moment the car
In the
started
grass.
to roll.
The third leg consisted of 6
grote
stages,
gras, lange
100
gras.
kilometers of
Huh?
competitive tests. The leaderboard was close with just 16 seconds separating Häkkinen, Sainz and Burns, setting up a nail-biting finish.
Ja, niet slecht.
Juha Häkkinen was first out and made a slow start. His teammate Richard Burns, with memories of Argentina, began closing in, but the Finn was confident going into the last couple of stages.
He's driving very fast and he's doing well, but I mean, if he still takes 5 seconds, I have still another 5 seconds for the last stage.
Ja.
Häkkinen set fastest times on stages 21 and 22, taking the rally down to the final test. Carlos Sainz slipped to second after the day's second stage and could do nothing to stop Burns from pulling away
Whoa.
with his car not handling to his liking. Richard Burns was flying, winning stage 19 and taking the fight to Juha.
Oh, easy. Rustig aan. Niet op de weg, hè.
I mean, we've got 3 more stages to go, and anything can happen. Juha's been down a ditch and had some problems. We've been down a ditch on the last stage there, so we're all trying very hard. Juha, ourselves, and Carlos. So we'll just see what the outcome is. But sure, it's looking better now than it was with 17 seconds this morning.
Marcus Grunholm was also running well on the third leg, notching up a fastest stage time on his way to 4th.
Ja, goed bezig.
The new Cordobas were looking competitive. Gardemeister was up to 7th, with his teammate Harry Rovanpera 1 place ahead.
Ja, niet slecht. Wow, dat is een 7e, ja. Niet slecht, alleen op de weg blijven, hè.
The Finn was more than happy with 6th, having failed to score since Safari. Oriel, out of the points, chose to retire in order to prepare for the live stage. Alistair McRae finished 4th in Formula 2. Elder brother Colin dropped to 6th after a sudden loss of power, but worse was to follow.
Weer al motor aan. Oh, kijk eens, look at that. Again.
3Ks into the last stage.
See, Levy, we give it a go.
Aye, aye.
Salvaged 3 points from the rally by winning the last live TV stage. But it was Juha Kankkunen who won, setting a new record of 23 World Championship Rally victories and giving David Richards and the Subaru team their 3rd win of the season.
Ja, mooi. Goed bezig. Nice, Kankkunen, nice.
Richard Burns completed a Subaru 1-2 with Carlos Sainz in 3rd place. That win moved Kankkunen right back into contention for the driver's title, lying equal on points with Sainz behind Mäkinen and Oriel.
Ja, in China, ja. Zitten we in China.
Round 11 took the teams to China for the first time as part of the World Rally Championship. But the inclusion of the first new event since 1996 proved controversial.
I'm a little bit worried. Worried because during the recce we have seen a lot of people, and I think for rallying, for FIA, for everybody, for all the family of rallying, safety must be the most important thing, and I have serious doubt that
Ja, als er veel mensen zijn, is dat wel gevaarlijk natuurlijk.
can work in this type of country.
This rain has obviously put a completely different look on the whole event.
Ja, niet ideale condities, maar ja. Maar ja, die Chinezen zijn wel enthousiast natuurlijk, hè? Dat ook wel. Dat zag je al, hè?
The first leg contained 6 stages after 2 were cancelled due to bad weather. Mäkinen first on the road.
250. Lyhyt helppo oikein aukeaa kivi sisällä. 200.
The Finn won 3 consecutive stages to lead halfway through the first day, but a collision with a tree on the 5th test dropped him back. After winning the opening stage, Didier Oriel had struggled to match Mäkinen's times, although he was consistently quicker than his teammate until meeting with trouble on the 7th test. The Frenchman broke a strut top mount, but moved to 2nd when Mäkinen dropped back. Kankkunen also found the going tough.
Very, rutty and bumpy and rough, and all the stones are up now, so it's not very nice to
Ja,
drive. Greece is
moeilijke
better.
omstandigheden blijkbaar. Ja, ik zie het wel, ja, amai. Het ziet er allemaal wel... Ja, niet
Sainz
gemakkelijk uit
wasn't happy
natuurlijk.
either after experiencing handling problems. Richard Burns made a bad tyre choice in the morning, but fought back, winning 2 stages to beat his more experienced rivals. 2 competitors with more experience than most on this rally were Colin McRae and Nicky Grist.
Obviously, it's going to be completely different to what most of the drivers have experienced before. Having been here twice, obviously, we know what's coming.
Ja. Oh, nee, oh.
No, it was marked in our notes, but it wasn't in as a caution. That's why we went over it. I think that the rock was actually slightly worse than it was in the recce. After all the rain, it's washed all the dirt away around.
Incredibly, Ford lost both works cars on the same corner of the opening stage.
En gedaan. Ho.
His day wasn't much better.
Dat is,
The Belgian made it
dat is
as far
jammer.
as the 7th test.
Shit. Ja.
Rovanpera had problems too.
Dat is jammer.
Poor handling from the Seat and 3 punctures left him struggling. But
Jongens
he did
toch.
fare better than his teammates. Liati's rally ended after he drowned the engine in a water splash on stage 8.
Ja.
With only 40 seconds covering the top 5 drivers and conditions that could catch even the best of them out, there was everything to play for on the second leg. 8 stages and 148 kilometers lay ahead. Burns was first on the road and started the leg where he'd left off the previous day, winning the opening stage.
Flat left, in, 80, slow
Woo.
flat left, 60, left.
Thereafter, he drove cautiously, but was perhaps a little too careful. The Englishman failed to win another stage, and it wasn't long before Didier Auriol was snapping at his heels.
Ja, stiekem, ja. Oef.
The Frenchman judged the terrain to perfection and took chunks of time out of Burns' lead, until on stage 14 he jumped ahead. The Toyota driver set 2 fastest stage times and even eased off on the final section, so as not to jeopardise his place for the all-important third leg.
Oké. Oké, Auriol, goed bezig.
While the battle raged between Auriol and Burns, Tommy Mäkinen was preparing to fight back.
Ja, wat gaat hij doen, hè?
But the Mitsubishi driver lost time on the first stage, and even more on the next.
Ah ja, ik zie het. Oh, la. Ja, dat is zonde, dat is tijdverlies.
Mäkinen eventually got his act together, taking successive stage wins.
Yes, we're very happy. Fastest on the last 2 stages. We changed the suspension a little bit, raised the ride height, gave him some new dampers, and also did him a different cut on the tyres, and he was very happy with it.
Kankinen had another difficult day. The correct tyre choice was proving crucial, and the Finn had chosen the wrong ones for the first 2 stages.
50, very low, okay, left slip it. 50, crest 70.
Even with the right tyres on the next pair of tests, his problems weren't over. A faulty sensor prevented the front differential from locking on, and he again lost time on the cars in front.
Ja, dat is wel jammer, hè. Relatief geen probleem, maar toch tijd mee verliezen. Dat is ook niet fijn, hè. Natuurlijk niet.
To round off the day, Kankinen lost another 3 minutes with a puncture on stage 15.
Nou,
taking the hit
smakelijk.
from Carl Sainz, who ran a lonely third for much of the day. Sainz also went the wrong way on tyres, which dropped him out of the lead battle. Although he did post the fastest time on the day's final stage, even after sustaining 4 punctures on the previous section. One of the few drivers not to experience problems on the last day was Harry Rovanpera. Although the Seat driver admitted he was on the limit, he could not catch the cars in front. That was until the final stage of the day when he moved up to 5th, courtesy of Tommy Mäkinen's exit from the rally.
It seems he's stopped 7 kilometres into the last stage of the day. It sounds like the suspension is deranged, we're not sure why. And until we see him, we can't get the full story, but he's clearly out of the rally.
The third and final leg was the shortest of the rally, over just 6 stages and 86 kilometres. A fierce battle lay ahead, with Auriol and Burns separated by just 10 seconds.
Ja, dat is niet veel, 10 seconden.
You know, it's so difficult to don't
Kan even een 2 zijn, hè? Auriol of Burns.
I have tried hard. I tell you, I have nothing to lose. Just go.
Auriol was sensational on that last leg, winning 5 stages helped considerably by outwitting Burns on tyre choice.
It's a lot more difficult than we thought when we first came here this morning. The gravel crew said it wasn't so bad some places with mud, but it turned out to be like a lot of slush, if you can describe mud.
Nou ja,
like
oké,
that.
ja.
Just a sort of 20 or 30 centimeters.
Dat maakt het wel niet gemakkelijk.
Of mud on the top of a hard road, so the tyre can never hit down to the surface. Carlos
Sainz started the day almost a minute behind, and there was little incentive for the Spaniard to push hard. he was better off holding station to see if any of the leaders would drop out. Kankkunen had the same problem. He had little chance of catching Sainz, and Rovanperä was too far behind to pressure him. The Finn could rarely match his teammates' pace and drove steadily to the end. Rovanperä took no risks on the final leg to ensure his Seat made it to the finish, while Alison McRae won the Formula 2 category.
The further down the field you're running, the slipper it gets, and obviously with two-wheel drive, it's traction's a big problem, but it's okay.
And I sideways a little bit before this two jump, and after I have
Ooh,
bad landing, and okay, my co-driver say, I say no problem, it's okay, it's okay.
Ai, no problem. Chique. Alla winner, ja. Even het gehaald.
Drivers and manufacturers titles.
Goed jong.
Victory was Toyota's first of the year. The Frenchman won by almost a minute, while Volkan Izik scored the first World Championship point for Turkey.
Dezelfde plaats, ja.
With just 3 rounds to go, Mäkinen and Oriol led the championship, equal on points.
Mooi. Spannend. Goh.
Toyota were now just about unassailable in the Manufacturers' Championship.
Ja, Toyota is wel, ja, goed bezig, ja, dat is goed.
After a quarter of a century of success, Toyota Team Europe made a sound announcement in San Remo.
Ja.
Toyota has decided not to enter the WRC next year, and that the focus of our activities and our efforts will change.
Ove Anderson started up the operation in 1972, driving in the RAC Rally. Various wins followed in the intervening years, but the team's big breakthrough came in 1990, and Bjorn Voldegaard took victory in the Safari Rally. The Celica GT4 had proved it was tough enough to beat the opposition, and within a couple of months, Carlos Sainz had taken victory in another 4 events to give the team its first World Championship Drivers' title.
Well, klopt.
It's actually a pity for me, especially because I started my career with them in the World Championship.
No.
Obviously, for me especially, it's sad.
Toyota won the title again in 1992, the Spaniard taking victory in Kenya, New Zealand, Spain and Britain. But the team had yet to win the Manufacturers' Championship.
The 93 and 94 World Championships.
Geweldig,
fantastic.
In 1993, they won both titles with Juha Kankkunen in the driving seat.
Oi! Go! Nice arm.
The following year, it was the turn of Didier Auriol, who took victory in the Drivers' Championship and helped Toyota to their second successive manufacturer's title.
I get the title in '94, but maybe it was not my best season. For me, when I drive during the race, the more important is to give the best. I like always to have a very perfect car. I mean, I am very disappointed if my car is 2 mm too down or the 1 mm too much in, and I push very hard the engineer and the mechanic to make this job perfect.
Ja, zonde natuurlijk, hè. Spijtig dat Toyota eruit gaat, maar ja, nu weten we wel dat ze terug zijn, hè.
After the early 1990s, the team's fortunes took a turn for the worse. After being excluded from the championship in 95 and 96 because of turbo irregularities, their first full season back ended with Sainz just missing out on the driver's title.
Yeah.
I must say, obviously, that was an incredible disappointment. Of course, I had the championship in the hand and 300 meters to the end of the last stage. Suddenly they...
Ja, dat is nog altijd, ja.
That may have been Carlos Sainz's last chance to win the championship in a Toyota, and this year may have been Didier Auriol's.
I am a little bit disappointed, but okay, I mean, what we can do, so the life continues.
The Frenchman has been Mäkinen's closest rival this year, and after his win in China lies level with the triple champion on points. Toyota have had a successful year, but what will the future bring?
Rallying is at the moment in a period of expansion, and I guess there's a few opportunities there we won't be able to take.
Ja.
I think I have need first to wait and Carlos takes this decision, and after that we can see what we can do to next year.
Well, first of all, I hope now that Toyota has decided to stop, I hope we can bring one championship to Toyota.
And there is every possibility that the team can go out on a high and take its third manufacturer's title.
Ja, dat denk ik dus ook, ja. Dat ze kunnen winnen Toyota dat jaar, 99, ja.
I think that it's a very understandable decision that Toyota has made. We have been 25 years in rallying. We have enjoyed a lot of success. And I think, like everything else in life, you look for a new challenge.
Ja. Ja. Jammer, maar ja, goed. Het is wat het is, hè.
After the unknown of China, the championship returned to Europe and the familiarity of Italy and San Remo for round 12.
Ja, Rally San Remo. Centrista. Huh. Naar links.
The rally began with controversy when Francois Delacour was handed a 2 minutes penalty for riding a bike over a stage in contravention of the reconnaissance rules.
Ach, dat is, ja.
First stage is going like that, going up like that, but 70 k's, it's so difficult and you cannot do any reconnaissance at all. It's so difficult, and you are maybe at 7 kilometer maximum speed, and which is totally ridiculous.
Leg 1 left San Remo, doing a loop over 6 stages and 215 kilometres.
Yeah.
Tommy Mäkinen was first on the road. The Finn lost 21 seconds on the first 2 tests, complaining of an electrical glitch on the first, and although the roads were dry, wet conditions on the next.
Then second stage, all the water came into the car from the water tank, and it was like a swimming pool.
Didier Auriol shadowed Mäkinen for most of the day. The Frenchman finished the leg just 3.2 seconds behind the Finn, but his teammate Carlos Sainz was to have a much more dramatic day. The Spaniard had been pushing hard when disaster struck.
Oei oei, dat is nog niet goed als je dat zegt. Disaster strike, oh ja. Hij is afgegaan, hè? Hij is gecrashed. Ah, dat is wel serieus een crash precies, hè?
Sainz escaped with bruising as the Subaru struggled.
Ja.
Juha Kankkunen finished the first leg in 17th, while Richard Burns, who fared little better, couldn't find his rhythm or a place in the top 6. As expected, the Peugeots were in top form on the Italian asphalt. Francois Delacour won the second and final stages to end the day only 2 seconds behind his teammate Gilles Penizzi.
Ah, hij is hard aan het werken, kijk eens zijn gezicht.
The Michelin-shod Peugeot took a slim lead into the second leg.
Zet, ja. Hoe zet je dat dan?
Double winner Philip Bogowski was the top place 2.
Ja, hij is weer terug, hè. Zit gewoon.
The Citroen driver passed Trino during the day's longest stage.
Oh, my.
After the Skoda pilot lost more than 4 minutes with a puncture.
My.
Marcus Grönholm completed the Peugeot domination at the top of the leaderboard, staying in touch with his teammates all day. In Formula 2, Kenneth Eriksson's hopes of scoring points were dashed when he hit a wall and damaged his radiator.
Ja, ik zie het. Dat is minder, ja.
Peugeot had dominated the first day, but with just 35 seconds covering the top 5, the battle wasn't over. Leg 2 contained 8 stages, and fastest over the opening test was Delacour, opening up an 18-second lead, despite trouble with his transmission.
I have a gearbox problem, you know, like Marcus, and at the moment they are trying to change the gearbox, and we don't know if we will get penalty.
Er zijn wat problemen, dat is jammer, hè. Ze waren toch goed bezig. Oei.
Penizzi had made a dubious tyre choice for the first stage. Fought back to finish the day in the lead, nearly 3 seconds ahead of Delacour. FBGgaming lost his grip in the lead battle as the roads became dirtier and less suited to his two-wheel drive Citroen. The Frenchman continued to slide back all day, dropping out of the top 10. Colin McRae was also in trouble. Less than a mile into the first stage, the Ford engine was reduced to 2 cylinders.
Ja, ik hoorde al zoiets, ja. Oh, maar gaat maar op 2 cilinders.
On the cylinder head into the plug holes.
Ai, toch ja. Ja, ik zeg het. Echt een slecht jaar voor de Ford, ja. Maar ja.
Also sealed off the plug in relation to the coil top ignitions. And we'll just really have to see.
McRae went on to win 2 stages.
Oh.
This incident ended his rally.
Mai, dat was onverwacht. Dat uit altijd natuurlijk, maar toch.
Small bump on the inside of the junction right, which
dat zou ik helemaal niet aankomen. Soms zie je het aankomen, maar dat nu niet.
Bank and we just rolled onto a road going down on the opposite side of the junction. That's the way it happens, I'm afraid.
Goh.
Winning 4 of the day's stages and problems for drivers in front helped Mäkinen move up the leaderboard.
Vasen nopea, 5 aukeaa. 2. Lyhyt oikein nopea, plus vähän hiekkaa. 2. Lyhyt.
The Finns' progress put pressure on Didier Auriol. Although the Toyota driver also moved up the field, he couldn't match his championship rival's pace, giving himself a lot of work to do in the 3rd and final leg. After a lackluster first leg, Richard Burns was beginning to settle into his stride. However, having set the 4th fastest time on the opening stage, problems struck.
Ja, jij is ook niet blij natuurlijk, ja. Ja, jammer, te voet nu.
We lost drive before the stage. It caused us a little bit of problem in the stage. The gearbox was actually working okay, but it missed a couple of gears towards the end. And then just straight after the stage, it came to a stop with no drive.
Local driver Andrea Ghini battled with Freddie Loix all day, finishing behind the Mitsubishi driver in the first non-works car. With less than 23 seconds covering the top 3 drivers, the scene was set for an exciting final leg over 4 stages. Although Piero Liatti wouldn't finish the first.
In the start, I broken the rear diff,
Oei.
and it's not possible
Nee.
to go.
Over en uit beter genoeg.
Gilles Panizzi also had problems on the opening stage. A puncture 10 kilometers in cost the Frenchman time, but he made up for it on the next 2 stages to retain his lead.
Okay.
Francois Delacour struggled on the first stage.
I had problem at the end with the right tire, you know. The right tire is gone. And after I had puncture. And also I have problem with the gearbox.
The rain is now falling heavy, permanently heavy.
Ja, ik zie het.
The weather wasn't Delacour's
Veel
only
regen.
difficulty. An electrical problem on the penultimate test meant the end of his rally, leaving Tommy Mäkinen with victory in his sights with 1 stage left.
Ja. Spannend. Come on, Tommy. Oula.
Well, we are only 1.9 seconds behind of Panizzi, and of course I try to beat him, but of course I have to try to finish the stage as well.
Didier Auriol continued to push hard throughout the day, but tricky conditions and tough tyre choices conspired against him, leaving the Frenchman 36 seconds behind Mäkinen with just the final 40 kilometres stage to run.
Ja.
After a very
Ik
lean
probeer het
period,
natuurlijk,
Freddie
hè.
Loix was happy to be in a point-scoring position, made better by Delacour's retirement.
Ja, dat is wel iets aan Loix.
Ghini's
Goed
local
zo.
knowledge proved invaluable on the final day, the privateer staying on the pace throughout the last few stages to finish in 5th. Juha Kankkunen was comfortable in the varying conditions to snatch the final place in the top 6. But the final stage would decide the winner. Tyre choice would prove crucial in a 3-way battle. Panizzi went first and covered the test in 28 minutes 34.5 seconds. Mäkinen was next, and with an inspired tyre choice beat the Frenchman by nearly 20 seconds, but Auriol was still to run.
Ja.
The Frenchman threw caution to the wind, giving it everything on the final test, but Mäkinen was confident.
Happy with that stage?
Excellent, excellent. I couldn't come any faster. I definitely couldn't come any faster. If somebody comes faster, he must come very fast.
Mäkinen won the stage and his 2nd consecutive San Remo rally. Panizzi beaten by 18 seconds at the end, with Auriol 3rd.
Mooi. Goeie comeback van Tommy Mäkinen. Heeft het goed gedaan.
Just 2 rallies there, Tommy Mäkinen could only be beaten by Oriol, lying 6 points adrift.
Ja. Allee. Rally Australië.
Separated by just 6 points, the preliminary super special gave championship rivals Tommy Mäkinen and Didier Oriol their first chance to run head-to-head.
Ja.
The Finn was his usual committed self, but it was the Frenchman who took first blood, beating Mäkinen by just 1/10 of a second.
Oké, spannend. Goed begin.
The only driver to beat them was Colin McRae, determined to do well here after his appalling run of luck over the second half of the season.
Ja, hé. Goh.
Leg
Dit
1
seizoen was
restarted the
niet...
following day, with drivers facing 132 competitive kilometers over 10 special stages. Didier Oriol won this event in 1992 and knew he had to finish in front of Mäkinen to take the title fight to the last round. He started well, winning the opening 2 stages. Tommy Mäkinen lost over 2 seconds on the first stage and a further 3 on the next to lie 5 seconds behind going into stage 4. Oriol was again fastest over that section, increasing his lead over the Mitsubishi driver to nearly 13 seconds.
Oula.
Mäkinen, who had won this event twice before, eventually got into his stride, posting the quickest time over stage 5, but only made up just over a second on his rival. But the next test would see a radical change in the complexion of the rally.
Oh shit. Oh.
Oriol and co-driver Jurade managed to complete the stage and get to the service area.
Okay.
But if the time they had lost had been costly for them, there was worse news to come. Their Toyota, even with the best endeavours of their mechanics, was beyond repair.
Ja, ai, opgave. Ja, dat is too bad, hè. Dat is jammer natuurlijk, hè. Ja. Dat ziet je wel in zijn gezicht. Dat is, ja.
When I lift and brake, the car starts to go right, left, so I lose the control of the car. And after I went in the wrong line for take the right corner, so I tried to go braking and go straight between the trees, but I hit the trees.
Didier's retirement meant that Mäkinen could win the title here in Australia.
Well, obviously, thinking about the championship with Didier out, we'd like to get enough points to wrap it up here. So certainly we'll keep the pressure up to try and get back in the top 3.
No.
With his teammate out, Carlos Sainz had secured the overnight lead, which he had underlined by winning 3 of the first day's stages. With a rule change in Australia, Sainz had the first choice in road position for the following day.
Oh ja. Dat is ook een heel circus hè, in Australië. Ja. Dat ze dan mogen kiezen wanneer ze
Mäkinen started the
mogen
leg
beginnen.
7 on the road, but was immediately on the pace, setting the fastest time on the opening test in an attempt to secure the 3rd place he needed for the title. Colin McRae started the day in 2nd place, but he wouldn't be there for long.
Oh ja, ik weet al waarom ook. Ja. Kijk wat er nu gaat gebeuren, hè mensen. He's going off, look at that. Wow. Kijk wat dat is, ja.
McRae and Chris crashed into a tree at 160 kilometers an hour.
It was full attack on the first stage this morning, but
dat herinner me nog, ja. Was toch
he took off on a big jump.
Toen een zware crash, ja.
Twisted in the air, and then
Kijk,
basically what happened when he landed, literally there wasn't enough, probably jumped further than he anticipated, and there wasn't enough room then to get some grip to get around the corner, and the right-hand corner went head-on into the tree.
McRae's misfortune helped Mäkinen move into 3rd.
Of course, it's my target at the moment, try to keep 3rd place and everything in condition.
Richard Burns began the day in 4th, 28 seconds behind Sainz.
Braking, turn hairpin left.
Ja. Met die Fox hier, dat aan de kant, dus even een gevaarlijke situatie, maar oké.
The opening 3 tests to put his Subaru into the lead after stage 14. Sainz chose to run 10th and traded fastest stage times with Burns throughout the day, driving on the limit.
Oh, kijk dat ja. Zelfs de vooruit was niet opgelost tegen de brutaliteit. Allee ja, dat gezien.
Usually in this rally you're running at the front and it's really slippy, but you know we've got the advantage of being able to run a bit further back now with the seeding system, so it's quite good.
The battle would continue into leg 3, with Burns and Sainz separated by just 4 seconds with 4 stages left to run. Tommy Mäkinen was secure in third, too far behind to catch the leaders, but far enough ahead of Grönholm not to take any risks. The Finn cruised to a podium finish to take his 4th consecutive World Rally Drivers' title.
Ja. Yeah, ja. Allee ja, voilà. Zijn 4e titel in de pocket. Amai. Yeehoe! Ja. Yeehoe!
Great. 4 years in a row, it's really a record, which is gonna be very difficult to break, I'm sure.
The championship was settled, but the rally wasn't. Carlos Sainz posted the fastest time over the opening stage, beating Burns by over 3 seconds, to lie just 1 second behind his rival with 3 stages left. The Englishman hit back on the next test, the longest of the day, to reinstate his lead.
Max cut 40, flat right plus over crest then tightens, and flat right plus 100, long crest to left, Max cut.
Burns had taken nearly 11 seconds off Sainz on that section, but the Spaniard was having problems.
Well, we started the stage and by some reason the hydraulics were disconnected, and we realized 5 or 6 kilometers in the stage, so we lost some time and also the confidence you lose. But I think we have to also congratulate Richard for an incredible time on the stage. I think even without the problem we would have gained 3 or 4 seconds or something like that, but never make his time.
The Subaru driver was beaten on the final 2 stages, but only by a 1/10 of a second on each. He had already done enough.
Allemaal zo nipt hè. Oh, qua tijden, allemaal zo nipt.
120.
Voilà ja. Hey. Ja, was ook binnen de buurt. Ze hebben gewonnen, dat is goed.
Burns and Reed notched up their 2nd win of the year.
I feel pretty good. It's fantastic. We obviously worked hard for 3 days to get this. It's been a difficult rally, a lot of other people making mistakes, and we just, well, I've been pretty confident I could win, but until you get to the end, then nothing's certain, and I'm happy we're here in one piece.
I'm very happy about Toyota winning the Manufacturers Championship. I think it's fantastic, and I think for me as a member of the team, it's very good.
Ja, klopt.
Won the Formula 2 class for Hyundai.
Toyota heeft de wereldkampioenschap gewonnen ook in 99. Ja, klopt. Ja. Veel winnaars in Australië, hè?
Rally manufacturers title, and they were the only team to score points in every round up until Australia. Mäkinen is also well practiced in the art of title celebrations.
Tja.
While Sainz and Mäkinen are truly established champions, Richard Burns may soon be joining them after the sort of performance he demonstrated in
Dat komt nog wel, jong. Binnen een jaar of 2 met Richard, hè? Ja.
11 seconds was the gap between Burns and Sainz at the end. Mäkinen was a full 4 minutes behind.
Goh, wat een verschil, ja. Kijk dat, jong. What a difference in times, hè? Amai.
Oriol could tie with Mäkinen on points, but the Finn would have a greater number of wins. Burns could still come runner-up with a win in Britain. Toyota were confirmed as champions, but 2nd place still had to be settled between Subaru and Mitsubishi.
Ja.
Great Britain was the venue for the season finale. Based
Ja,
around the
de
town
finale,
of Cheltenham, the rally ran through the heart of the English countryside and the forests of Wales. With both the drivers and the manufacturers' championships decided, all eyes were on Richard Burns and Colin McRae, who were competing for the title of Best Brit.
Ja. Ik weet al wie het gaat zijn dus.
Number 1. Well, I don't know how everybody else sees it, but at the moment then we've had a much better run over the last half of the championship, and this is a position we're in, so we're happy to take it.
Colin, who's going to come second?
That's an easy one. There's a good chance Richard Burns will.
Ja, een beetje grapjes maken zo. Maar altijd, hè?
Tackles 7 short spectator stages, covering a total of 37 kilometers over mixed surfaces. The tests were located in a variety of situations, including the grounds of Blenheim Palace and Silverstone Racing Circuit. Three-time British winner Juha Kankkunen had always driven well in this event, and his objective this year was clear when he went quickest over 3 of the day's stages to move into the lead.
Ja, oké, hij wil winnen natuurlijk, hè.
The Finn was kept on his toes by François Delacour, who took advantage of the 206's short wheelbase, well suited to these tests, to place his Peugeot second overnight, 4 seconds behind. His teammate Marcus Gronholm won 2 stages to finish the day in 3rd. The 6th stage was a super special Silverstone Racing Circuit. Richard Burns and Colin McRae went head-to-head in the Battle of the Brits. The Subaru driver won the fight by 0.8 of a second and finished the day 4th overall. McRae completed the leg in 8th. 30 seconds covered the top 10 drivers after the first leg, but with 8 longer stages on the second, the gaps between them was expected to widen. Richard Burns helped fulfill those expectations when he was fastest over the opening stage by over 9 seconds. But concerns were growing about spectator safety.
Oeh ja, ze hebben veel, kijk dat. Oeh.
1 or 2 places on the outside of bends, not so clever, but generally everybody was fairly well behaved, but so many people.
I think it's probably the worst stage of the World Championship so far. I mean, I know the guys are enthusiastic, but I mean, they were waving flags, Scottish flags and Welsh flags in front of him on his line. You know, we really do appreciate the support, but it would be nice to actually have them just off the road and not on the outside of 6-gear corners or on line on 6-gear corners.
Ja, Tommy McKinnon has
always struggled in Britain, and this year was no different.
Oh! Ai ai. Ja, hij heeft echt geen geluk, hè, in Groot-Brittannië, Tommy McKinnon. Dat is echt niet zijn rally. Kijk.
Suspension damage, but fought his way back to 5th by the end of the day.
Ja.
Didier Auriol was also having difficulties coping with the slippery conditions. 6th at the beginning of the day, the Frenchman had already slipped back to 8th when he lost another 20 seconds on stage 11.
Oeh. Ja. En hij is al ziek, dus dat is niet gemakkelijk ook niet.
The leg in 6th place, but he was destined to retire on leg 3.
Ai, ja. Dat is minder, ja. Dat is niet zo leuk.
Winning 6 of the day's 8 stages, Richard Burns was dominant through the Welsh forests, but the Englishman wasn't out of the woods yet.
Oei oei. Ja, dat is kan gevaarlijk zijn, hè.
Richard's come off the last stage just driving quietly down the road. He's had an underbonnet oil fire. Something on the engine around the turbo area has created an oil leak, and it just went on fire. He put it out, he got it back to service, and now they're trying to trace it and cure it permanently, but it's going to be quite difficult. 20-minute service, and that's all they've got.
The problem was found, and last year's winner got away without losing time.
Okay, gelukkig maar.
Sainz wasn't so fortunate. After fighting his way up from 5th to 4th, the Spaniard ran into trouble on the 5th test of the day.
George, Carlos seemed to have lost a lot of time in stage 12.
Yeah, 4 minutes unfortunately. Probably he reckons the slowest corner in the rally, and about 5 or 6 kph just slipped off on the inside of a hairpin.
Is that because of the conditions?
No, it's because the car doesn't fly very well when he goes over a big hole and he's not going fast enough.
Sainz was also to retire on the 3rd leg. Juha Kankkunen was never far away from Burns, keeping the pressure on his teammate to finish the leg 29 seconds behind and still in a position to spoil the party. The last test of the day would see the retirement of one of the rally favourites.
Oh ja, Colin alweer, ja. Hopla. Shit, man.
Oh my god. Someone run down to the radio! Someone go down to the other radio!
Dat is al de 3e crash op rij, hè. Third crash in a row.
Big accident last night, a 6th gear job over a blind crest, and unfortunately there's another car that was already off the road from the previous time through the stage, and did quite a lot of, well, extensive damage to the car.
Kijk dat, ja. Oh,
but they're both okay.
Ook het
It's certainly a different end to the season in relation to what we had in the early part of the season.
Ja, mai.
The third and final leg was the longest and toughest of the event, with 7 stages covering nearly 200 kilometers.
Ja.
Marcus Grönholm started the day in third and within reach of the 2 Subarus, but stage 19 would be his
Oh ja,
last.
juist ja. And there he goes, and crash. Ai ai ai. Daar ging hem. Oh, een vrij zware crash.
Something was wrong with the car. It was noise from the front right tire, and I maybe lost my concentration for that, and came a little bit too fast here, and the car didn't turn anymore, so we went off quite badly.
Yep.
Fellow Ben Tommy Mäkinen was on course for third place until a problem with the engine forced him to quit just 3 stages from the end.
Yeah.
From 95 with Mitsubishi, and very first time engine failure, and well, it's unfortunately it's here. UK seems to be again difficult here.
Ja, inderdaad, heel
led the
moeilijk.
Skoda charge and was one of the few drivers to enjoy a trouble-free day to finish 4th overall. Harry Rovanperä was also having a good day, notching up the best result of his career, bringing the Seat home in 3rd. With Grönholm out, Juha Kankkunen consolidated his 2nd place to ensure a podium finish in Britain for the 10th time in 12 years. But it was Richard Burns who dominated the 3rd leg, winning 5 of the day's 8 stages. Hyundai narrowly missed out on the 2-litre World Cup, which went to Renault.
Feel fantastic. It's been one of the more difficult, not really the weather conditions, but the road's been so slippery, and the cars worked well, tyres have worked well, and lots of other people have had problems, and I've managed to get to the front yesterday and stay there, and I'm happy to do it on my home rally, that's for sure.
Ja, goed gedaan, Burns. Ja. Mooi einde van het jaar voor hem.
In the end, Burns won by almost 2 minutes from his teammate. A great result for Seat and Skoda, with Rovanperä 3rd and Thierry 4th.
Ja.
With Mäkinen already the champion, that win gave Burns the runner-up spot. Oriol was 3rd, 3 points adrift.
Ja, kijk eens. Mooi.
After 27 years, Toyota said goodbye to the World Rally Championship on a high. Subaru were the runners-up, but it was Mäkinen's year.
Ja. Was inderdaad Mäkinen zijn jaar, hè? Het was Mäkinen zijn jaar, maar ook zijn laatste jaar als wereldkampioen, hè?
Well done, Tommy.
Yes. Huh. Voilà, dat was het. Zo. That's it, that's it. Voilà, goed, ja. Eens even kijken, hè. Alright, well, that's it. That was my reaction to the World Rally Championship of 1999. So next time I will react, of course, to the World Rally Championship of the year 2000, my magic year, because that was the first full year that I watched the World Rally Championship. So yeah, that's going to be a special year. But that's for next time, maybe in 2 weeks. So yeah. Okay, so next week I'm not sure that I can stream. Yes, Friday evening then maybe, hopefully. So yeah. So yeah, I will see you all next Friday. Okay, thank you and bye bye. Voilà, dat was het dan voor vandaag. Ja. Dat was nu dan de reactie van het jaar 1999. De volgende keer, wanneer precies, dat weet ik niet, maar misschien binnen 2 weken, dan ga ik dan reageren op het magische jaar, het jaar 2000. Dat is het jaar waar ik ben beginnen kijken naar rally, dus ja, dat is een speciaal jaar voor mij dan. Ja, wat volgende week betreft, ja, het zal volgende week vrijdag dan pas zijn dat ik ga kunnen streamen. Misschien dat ik in de week vroeger kan streamen, maar daar ja, ik kan er niks op zeggen, dus dat zien we dan wel. Dus het zal voor volgende vrijdag zijn, vrees ik. Maar ja, goed. Bedankt alleszins allemaal. En ik zie je allemaal de volgende keer. Tot ziens.